In the heart of the Israelite camp lay the Ark of the Covenant, a sacred object made of acacia wood and overlaid with pure gold. The Ark was more than just a chest. It was the throne of the invisible God, Yahweh, carried by the Israelites wherever they went. Inside, it held the stone tablets of the law given to Moses, a pot of manna as a reminder of God's provision, and Aaron's rod that had miraculously budded. The Ark symbolized God's covenant with Israel, a reminder that He was with them, guiding and protecting His people. As the story unfolds, do not forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment to help us understand how we can serve you better. Over time, the Israelites began to stray from the ways of the Lord, turning to idols and foreign gods, forgetting the one true God who had delivered them from Egypt. As war loomed between Israel and the Philistines, the Israelites found themselves on the battlefield at Ebenezer. Despite their confidence, they suffered a devastating defeat, losing 4,000 men. In their confusion, the elders of Israel asked why the Lord had allowed them to be defeated. They decided to bring the Ark of the Covenant from Shiloh, believing it would save them from their enemies. Hophni and Phinehas, the sons of Eli, accompanied the Ark to the battlefield. When the Ark arrived, the Israelites shouted so loudly that the ground shook. Hearing the noise, the Philistines grew fearful, believing that the gods of Israel had entered the camp. "Woe to us," they cried, recalling the plagues that struck Egypt. But their fear turned to resolve, and they urged each other to fight like men. In the ensuing battle, the Israelites were slaughtered. 30,000 soldiers fell, and the Ark of the Covenant was captured. Hophni and Phinehas were killed. When news of the defeat reached Eli, the high priest, he fell backward from his seat, broke his neck, and died. The Ark, the symbol of God's presence, was gone. The Philistines took the Ark to Ashdod, one of their cities, and placed it in the temple of their god, Dagon. Dagon was a prominent deity for the Philistines, depicted with the body of a man and the tail of a fish. Placing the Ark before Dagon symbolized the Philistines' belief that their god had triumphed over the God of Israel. But the next morning, the priests of Dagon found the statue of their god fallen face down before the Ark. They were shocked but quickly set the statue back in place. The following morning, they discovered Dagon had fallen again, this time with his head and hands severed, lying on the temple threshold. Only the stump of Dagon's body remained. The priests and people of Ashdod were terrified, realizing that this was a sign of Yahweh's superiority over Dagon. As if this were not enough, the people of Ashdod began to suffer from a mysterious and painful disease, afflicting them with tumors. Some accounts suggest that rats also infested the city, adding to their misery. The once proud city of Ashdod was now gripped by fear and suffering. Recognizing that the Ark was the cause of their troubles, the people of Ashdod cried out to the Philistine leaders to remove it from their city. The Philistine leaders decided to send the Ark to another city, Gath, hoping the plagues would stop. But as soon as the Ark arrived in Gath, the same afflictions struck the people there, causing great panic. The Ark was then sent to a third city, Ekron. The people of Ekron, however, cried out in fear, believing the Ark was brought to them to bring death upon them. The Philistine leaders, now desperate, decided to return the Ark to Israel. They consulted their priests and diviners, who advised them to send the Ark back with a guilt offering to appease the God of Israel. The guilt offering consisted of 5 golden tumors and 5 golden rats, representing the 5 Philistine lords and their afflicted cities. They placed the Ark on a new cart, along with the golden offerings, and hitched it to 2 cows that had recently given birth. The cows were separated from their calves, and the Philistines watched to see what would happen. If the cows went straight to the land of Israel, it would be a sign that the God of Israel had caused the plagues. If not, they would know that their suffering had been a coincidence. To the Philistines' amazement, the cows headed straight for the Israelite town of Beth Shemesh, without turning aside. The Philistine lords followed them as far as the border of Beth Shemesh, where they saw the Israelites harvesting wheat in the valley. When the people of Beth Shemesh saw the Ark, they rejoiced. The cart came to a stop in the field of Joshua of Beth Shemesh, and the people took the Ark and the cart, offering sacrifices to the Lord. However, the joy of the people was overshadowed by a tragic event. Some men of Beth Shemesh, curious about the Ark, looked inside, violating its sanctity. As a result, the Lord struck down 70 of them, and the people mourned, asking, "Who can stand before the Lord, this holy God? And to whom shall the ark go up from here?" The people of Beth Shemesh sent messengers to the inhabitants of Kiriath-Jearim, asking them to come and take the ark. The men of Kiriath-Jearim came and took the ark to the house of Abinadab on the hill, where it remained for many years, under the care of his son Eleazar. The story of the Ark of the Covenant and its time among the Philistines is a powerful reminder of the holiness of God and the reverence he demands. The Philistines learned that the God of Israel was not like their idols, but the living God who holds all power. Even their mighty god Dagon was powerless before him. For the Israelites, the story was a sobering reminder that God's presence and favor could not be taken for granted or treated lightly. The ark was not just a symbol, it was the very throne of God, demanding respect, obedience, and holiness. In the end, the Ark of the Covenant was more than a symbol of God's presence. It was a testimony to his greatness, justice, and mercy. The journey of the Ark through enemy lands and back to Israel is a profound story of the power of the God of Israel, who alone is worthy of worship and honor.